Welcome to Linux for the Rest of Us, episode number 67. The show where we talk about Linux, all aspects of Linux, like I've said before. Linux news, Linux distributions, Linux applications, Linux goodies, and just how Linux will fit into your life. Last episode I said will or will not fit in your life. It's just will fit into your life now, from now on. Helping us do that, accomplish that task is the man. He always brings the goods, the door-to-door geek, Steve McLaughlin. What's up, Door?
How's everything going, Steve?
I'm doing very good. How was your holiday?
Pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I listened to a couple podcasts where they took like 20 minutes or plus saying what they were thankful for. I want to take this time to say I am personally thankful for everything you've ever done that I partake in. Starting back from the very first time I heard you on Leo Laporte, the tech guy, call up and ask about stuff. And then he was like, okay, what's the URL? Ever since then, my browser has had a constant history cache of Podnutz.com. And I want to seriously thank you for all the time and effort you put into it. Everybody listening, the only stuff you hear is like maybe 5% of all the time that he puts into everything that goes on behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, side of the scenes, everything. So I definitely appreciate that, Steve.
Damn, man. Wasn't expecting that. Dude, thanks a lot. I mean, it goes without saying, I could not do even a fraction of what I do without you and the guys. I mean, if people have noticed lately, I get in the car, I turn on the keys, and I say, Door, get in the driver's seat, and you drive. I mean, that's what I turn on the engine.
Okay,
So,
that might be true, but it is your car. You pay for the insurance. You pay for the upkeep, and you keep it smelling, new car smell.
oh, that's cool. Well, we're thankful for each other. I think that's
Definitely.
bottom line. Cool, man. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank you, Door, and everybody else, and everybody who's watching live, and everybody who's downloaded the show. Hope you are enjoying it. That's what we're doing it for. And hope that you keep enjoying it, because we plan on doing a lot more. So, what do we got for this week, Door?
For everybody outside the U.S., we're going to move on. Okay, this first thing is a basic, but it's kind of weird. I cannot relate it to anything else because I can't. I tried. I literally tried for like a day, and I can't. In proprietary systems, you get what you get, and that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing more, nothing else. If the new iTunes wants to look a certain way, it's going to look a certain way. If the Windows media player now wants to do something else, it's going to do something else, and that's it. In free software and open source, there's a little hidden thing that I've known about in the past, but this is the first time I've actually heard about it, kind of thing, documented kind of thing. Okay, there's an episode on Hacker Public Radio, I believe, from a couple days ago. It is episode 865, and it's called Desktop Transparency. Here's the gist of it. The guy says, this is not, written in stone, the facts of how everything happened. This is the facts how I saw them happen. So it might not be 100% factual, but he said, this is how I perceive it, and a bunch of other people perceive this happening.
Okay.
Way back in the late 90s, there was no such thing as transparency on a computer. Not Windows, not Mac, not Linux, anywhere. And a guy took a screenshot of his desktop and then put that as the background to his terminal, his command prompt, and then maneuvered it in such a way that it looked like his terminal was transparent, even though it wasn't.
Oh, you mean literally transparent?
So it would look like it was translucent. Sorry.
Okay, I'm thinking transparent in the form of like a company allowing you to see what they're doing behind the scenes. You mean literally like can see through it?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Right. So it looked like he had his terminal window up
Right.
and the text was in the terminal,
Yeah.
but you could see through the terminal
Right.
and see the desktop background.
Right.
Before that, that was impossible. It didn't exist anywhere. He posted it somewhere and he didn't tell people it was a fake. Not initially, okay? And people in the open source community saw that and was like, how do you do that? That's cool. And because they have access to all the source code, people started hacking away on it. And before everything got out that this guy had a fake image,
They made the real thing?
they made the real thing. Less than 3 years later, Winamp was the first application I know of on the Windows world to allow semi-transparencies, because Winamp was the first application I can remember that would let you theme it or put skins on it.
Right.
And one of them was a transparency. Since then, transparency is everywhere. I mean, on every operating system, in some place, there's transparency, translucency of some kind.
Right.
Where you can kind of see through, kind of can't thing. But it started out as basically fiction.
That's awesome. That's great that he didn't tell anybody.
Well, I think he did, but it wasn't fast enough.
Right.
People already jumped on it. Because honestly, back then, 10 plus years ago, at least 13 plus years ago, sorry, the internet didn't move as fast. You know what I mean? You would do something and you might not expect a reaction to it for a week.
Right.
3 days, 5 days.
Sure.
Now,
It's crazy.
it's insane. Yeah. So I just thought that was really funny. And that can only happen with free software, open source software, where people have the access and ability to modify stuff. So I thought that was cool.
It's really cool. And I'm trying to show the screenshot of it. There it is. Wasn't coming up.
Yes,
it was
the
on
second one down.
Hacker Public Radio, episode 85, desktop transparency. There it is.
865.
865, my bad.
They have roughly 5 episodes a week.
Insane.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for them, guys.
Yeah. They're the guys behind it, they don't do 5 episodes a week. They do all the back-breaking work, like you would know, to have this available. And 99% of the cast come in from contributors. And this was a guy who just contributed. I think he was riding in his car and hit record on a device and was driving and talking about it.
I see. That's awesome.
Yes, that was cool. Okay. Next one to talk about. I actually believe I might have mentioned this less than 3 weeks ago. I don't know. I'm a horrible job at going back and checking my notes.
I believe it was last week.
No way.
I think so, Dor.
Okay. Well, I don't care. I'm mentioning it again
Because I was very interested in it. Go ahead.
because there's 2 parts.
Yeah.
I think there might be a third part coming out. I can say this. This is a video tutorial on opensource.com. If you listen to the voice, I'll just say to people, his voice might sound very familiar. I'm not sure I'm at liberty to say who it is.
Richard Dreyfuss.
No, I was just going to say it isn't like Lewis Black or the ghost of Richard Pryor. Okay. This is just somebody in the open source world.
Yeah.
I'll say that. He has 2 videos.
I know
I didn't know there was 2 videos,
Right.
but now I know there's 2 videos.
All right, let me show the second one.
Yeah, the first one is KDN Live Part 1, Introduction to KDN Live. KDN Live is a video editor. I can't remember the word. There's a word.
Non-linear.
Thank you. A non-linear video editor that is trying really hard to become a professional product quickly.
And it looks good. What a nice attempt here.
I know. I know. And the guy who's talking about this video, he is a video guy. If there's anyone who I trust in telling me how to use a video editor, it's this guy.
I'll give you a hint. It won't give it away, but this is a good little hint. He actually told me and Dor that he used to use Blender to do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hint.
Yep. And I don't know if I'm at liberty to say it, but and the second video is called KDN Live Part 2 advanced editing technique.
Yes.
This is the video I didn't know existed, and I'm really happy. I'm sorry, not video. This is the article I didn't know existed, and this is what I need. I need to at least become semi-competent in Linux video editing, partially so I can do my own stuff. Secondly, so I can answer questions people ask.
Right. This is fantastic. What a great page and a great program that this is becoming.
Right. And I was going to say, I'm asking everybody out there, if you can you please go to opensource.com and vote for this? There's only 16 people who voted for this. This needs more votes. This needs to become more popular than just the Linux for the rest of us people listening to, my belief.
I just voted.
Thank you. And it isn't like it's been out for 6 months and it's just floundering. This was released quietly, very quietly. And now it's just starting to get a little popularity around the internet. And I really want to do my part.
Totally. Well done.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, Steve. I know that you know, I believe that you know that I know.
Confused already.
You know what my main gripe is for people who, and if I were to ask them, well, why not try Linux? And they give me the answer that makes me grit my teeth so hard I like lose a layer on my teeth. Do you know that answer, Steve?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you?
I want you to tell everybody listening.
They want to play games. They need to play games on Windows. And
But Linux doesn't have games. I want to play games. Oh, it really does make me sick to my stomach because 99.999% of those people have nothing to base that on. They have no facts to base that on whatsoever. It's just something they heard.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? Like, say when somebody wants to play Call of Duty or something.
Well, no, it's like, well, they can. I'll say they don't even look at it. They just take it as a myth is fact kind of thing. When the legend becomes fact, you print the legend. That's an old movie quote. But they don't even look into it. They just hear it said so often that they just believe it.
Right. Okay. I got you.
You can play Call of Duty on Linux, but that's not the game I'm talking about. The new hotness that everybody seems to be talking about, and Leo Laporte spends hours playing on Twit, is the game Skyrim. Okay.
He plays it on Twit?
I've literally been following Venn Stone, VENN space STONE on Google Plus, and at least 3 times in the last week, he's plussed a clip of Leo between shows playing Skyrim. And I honestly believe it's him pumping up the new game show coming in January or whatever. But either way, he is doing it. This game really is popular. I think it's more popular than Call of Duty or
really
whatever the other things are. It seems like it because everybody's talking about it. And I know 2 guys at work that took off work and they didn't come in for 2 days because they just stayed home and played this game.
No way.
Yes.
So great.
It's like that. But Venn Stone, I don't know if he did it himself. I would not be shocked if he did because he's not dumb. He's a pretty sharp guy. But on Google Plus, if you were following him, you would have seen 2 postings in the last 3 days. One of them is a long posting that basically contains a script file. If you copy the one posting where it starts at the £sign and go down towards the very bottom where it says exit 0 and copy all that to a file and save it as a script file, a .sh file on your computer, give it executable rights. And if you have play on Linux installed, something I mentioned weeks and weeks and weeks ago, Steve, this script will take advantage of play on Linux, which also has Wine installed, and this will install Skyrim on Linux and put a desktop icon and let you click and play.
No kidding. And it's perfectly placed perfectly?
I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but typically, no one. I'll say typically.